Welcome. This afternoon, I do my best to do it in 2 hours. My name is Trees van Rijsewijk. I'm from the Netherlands. My birthplace is a village, but I'm living for 40 years in Amsterdam. I was born in a big family of 10 children. So a real Catholic family, we say in Netherlands. And my father and mother had a fruit farm. And I remember when I was young, a 40 hectare full of trees with flowers, butterfly, birds. But my parents were so busy, they had no time to have a talk about the meaning of the life. And I found out by myself. But it took a long bicycle tour. And even now, I'm on the way to find out the meaning of the life. During my bicycle tour, I'm now 65 after 2 weeks, so it was in 1986. I just took my bike, old bike, and you can see, but it was, that time they were not very good bikes. This was a bike with 7 gears. And I didn't read any book about Asian countries. I just go to the airport, I put my bike in the plane, I go out in Delhi, and that was the best decision I made. But there I bought a second-hand book about India. I don't know about Hinduism. I don't know about the culture in India. Let it come. And it was the most important year for me. So I cycled 15,000 kilometers on my own through India, Nepal, Tibet, China, and a part of Mongolia. And so the first part of this presentation lecture is about my bicycle tour. So with slides. The second part, I finished my bicycle tour. I went back to Nepal because during my bicycle tour I met an orphan child. And they told me she's orphan. She lost 7 family members in 1 year. And I thought, okay, she is a person. I cannot just take her. So they won't just put her in my hand and take her with your home. I thought, no, she's a human being. I'm not allowed to do that. So after my bicycle tour, I will show you later, I stay for 1 year in Nepal and live in a small hut. And I pay for €2 a month. And I had 1 guilder, 50 euro cent to spend in 1988. So I was 34 years when I did 35 years when I made this tour. After that, I came back living in Nepal. This is a very long story how I became mother. That is why I wrote a book. This book is also in Germany. I think you still can buy. And then I came back as a mother and I thought what to do. So I bring it to school, I wash the clothes, and then I feel actually, is this the whole life? So I start to give a lecture. People give me money for her family, and at the same time I wrote my book, and this book became a bestseller. So I could buy a piece of land for her family. So they were all land slave. The whole family were land slave. Not like their uncle, their own father and mother died. And after it became a bestseller, the television, so I was many times on television, and I started a foundation, and came from few guilders that time to suddenly in a few months a big amount. So I could do a lot for Nepal. So the second part, first part is about my bicycle tour, the second part is about my work, and the last part is actually connected with what you heard this morning, only from my practical side. So then I'm not using slides. I will draw something about what is meaning for me, the soul. And I'm writing my next book. This is my 3rd book, which I'm writing now. There's a part on the chair. It's quite difficult. This book will be about the soul and the relation between body, soul, and the brain. So there's some connection. I can explain you how it works. Also a part of that last, about 20 minutes at the end, I will explain you how it works for me. I don't know. I don't know what is the truth. It's only my view, what I tell you. And I will share with you my view. And in that same part, I will tell you something about under and upper egos. Because the upper and under egos are disturbing many people. Under and upper ego, that word doesn't exist. So I just find out. And I will explain you what is meaning for me. So now we start first with my bicycle tour. And I'm a person who like to go to the remote places, just cycle simple roads and see what will come. And during that time, I was everywhere invited in India, in Nepal. I slept with the cows, I slept with the goats, I slept with poor people, I slept with rich people. And I thought, let it come every day. But I can tell you, during 1 year, every day was a special experience. And why? I explain you at the end of this presentation. So, just what I see on the way, and this is a toilet. So when I go to the toilet, 5 pigs followed me. They run on the backside, waiting for me. And in 1986, I didn't see any woman in Nepal, in India, who were cycling. Nobody. The women have long hair. The women have saris. So everybody was in doubt if I'm a man or a woman. And sometimes I took up my t-shirt and look, I'm a woman. But still they're in doubt because I have short hair and I'm cycling. And no any woman was cycling in India. So, but I had also some problems with the men. And so they are curious and ask many questions. How many children you have, and do you have a husband? And I said, yes, my husband is working and we are free. The woman, just because it irritates me also how to ask. But I hide myself behind a tree. And I want to repair my bicycle, but you see, the men find me, they bring a chair, they bring me food. They are very kind. And one man bring my bicycle to the village to repair this wheel. And then I continue so I'm already in Nepal. It's very interesting. You can see, in that time, now it's not possible. There are no cars. There's such a big change. And women were very curious. So they come to me and like to sit on the bicycle, and I have to cycle, and one woman sitting on the bicycle, but I could not take a picture from that. But here's very interesting, the woman around my bicycle. Sorry, my English is not very excellent, but I hope you can follow me. Yes? In Nepal they have a saying, some people can talk a lot, but nobody understands them. Some people don't talk and everybody understands them. So I kept this in my mind. And the women around the bicycle, you can see they are Mongolian people. Actually, Nepal, 50 million years ago, there was no Nepal. And India was connected with Africa, and it moved to Tibet, and then the Himalayas raised up. And that is why there's still earthquakes in Nepal. And the first people who come to Nepal, they are from Mongolia, and you can see this, the Mongolian people around my bicycle. The lady on my bicycle, you can see she looks different. She's like we, Aryan race, yeah? And I arrived in Kathmandu, and I said, where can I put my bicycle? So they make a bed free and put my bicycle on the bed. I paid about 15 euro cents in that time for this 2 beds. And then I heard the border between Nepal and Tibet is just open. I give my passport to one Nepali, he flew to Hong Kong. So you just trust the people. Actually, to trust the people is very nice, but sometimes it gives me also a problem. But luckily, my passport came back with a stamp. And there was any map from Tibet. And I start to cycle, again, how can I say, with the openness, yes, and courage, I will go. But it was really hard, and I didn't know that I have to cross about 14 passes, more than 5,000 meters. And this is just to enter, and so about 1,000 kilometers I cycled like this to Lhasa. And I didn't go there anymore, so I think these roads maybe they're all paved, and now China has the plan to make a real wheel from Lhasa to Kathmandu. So I did this tour in time. This was my first pass, and here, I can tell you this was an exciting moment. I thought, wow, how beautiful, how beautiful, how beautiful. But suddenly there came a snowstorm, and my bicycle's not that good, so all was full of ice, and I start like, oh, this is because I'm so stupid. I just thought, oh, I will do this, yes. Maybe I was feeling I can die here. But I thought, okay, when I move the whole night, my blood will run, and I will arrive somewhere. Let us see. In the same night, 11 o'clock in the night, I arrived in a house where I saw light. And then there were living Chinese, because you know Tibet is, how you call it? Yeah. Now, but I still talk about Tibet. And so I slept in the snow, and I had to pay the Chinese money for that. But they covered me with bags, and still at 20 minus degrees, and I wake up. And I cycle further, and I have the problem when I tell my whole stories, then you will sit here at the end of the night, and that's not possible. But I was so happy that I did it, and I slept in a small lodge, and then some Tibetan, they cook water for me because I was quite dirty, and they said, please take out your clothes and you wash yourself, and then they give me yak butter. It's like a cream, because it was like wood. When I knocked like this, I do like this, it seems it was completely wood, my face. And I had no marrow, I only can hear. And so they give me yak butter cream, and then it became soft. And just to tell you something, few things very nice. Then they said, now you have to take out your clothes here. And then they lay all on the ground to look what is under me, how I look here. And then I said, okay, you also take out your clothes and I will have a look. But we could communicate without understanding. You no need to talk English. And what is very important, you can communicate without knowing the language. Very easy. When you want sleep, you do this. And you have to observe the people, and they can observe you very well. And then you have the most funny communication. And interesting. So here also, here were a lot of goats, and I asked, can I sleep with the goats? Fine, so I put my luggage there, and then they built up this tent for me. And this is how the way looks. And this, sometimes I didn't meet for 3 days. Here, somebody, oh wait. 3 persons a day, and I had 50 € to spend, but I could not spend. Totally, I had $300, but I could not spend. There was nothing to spend. I had a little bit special biscuits from Japan, military biscuits. They are like stones, but when you eat a little bit, your stomach is filled. And the Tibetan, they always invite me. When I tell you all, everywhere they invite me. Sometimes 2 men with a horse, they follow me and they stop me and they give me food. And it's amazing how nice those people, which I just met on the road. And this is the very, very important picture for me. Here starts to discover my soul. Why? I sit here and I just enjoy. And I thought, okay, I cannot phone to the Netherlands. I feel very relaxed. It is not hanging on me. I have to phone my father, or I have to look after my post, or I have to go to a birthday, or shall I go to the cinema? Just empty. And this is, and I was like released from all the past. That is what I feel. And I thought, what is that? I feel so good, and I cannot talk with somebody, but I feel very good. I feel freedom. And slowly, slowly, this was increasing this feeling. But then later I tell you, 8 years ago, something happened in my life, and I have the feeling I fell down from the mountain. But that I tell you later. But this was the moment I thought, I know what is a soul. I can feel it really deeply. And then I came Tibetan, I met, and luckily I had the first autofocus camera. And those people never had a camera in their hand, but I asked, you look there and you do this. And so I have about 6 pictures from myself during this 1 year bicycle tour. And you see who I met, people like this. And we have just a talk. This is how the mountains are connected. This is the jug. This is China. And actually in 1986 it was forbidden to cycle in China. And I flew to Hong Kong. And there I thought, okay, I should take a small boat and not the tourist way. Because when you go to China in 1986, you only can get a permit for maybe 10 big cities, no other place. But I'm the person who like to do that and let us see what happened. And this is already in the north of China. But many times the policeman picked me up. The policeman came even in my room from the hotel, asked my passport. One time I have to write a letter that I have made a big mistake. And he ordered me, and the English teacher from the school translated all. And then I said, no, I love the Chinese people. And he got very angry. At last he wanted to take my bicycle. And suddenly I said, I'm married with my bicycle, you cannot divorce me. And then the driver and one policeman and the translator, they bring me to the railway station. And they said, don't go to Beijing. We spent 1 night together. We love you. This policeman, we also don't like him. And then they were so lovely for me. They were so kind for me. They offered me food. They offered me everything. Anyway, I cycle further, but this is just to show you. This is in my room. Somebody knocked on the door, and a group of people come inside of my room, and they offer me all this melon, and sometimes big bag with tomatoes, sugar, old Buddha statue. People give me so much. And one time, oh yeah, this is in a yurt. This was interesting. There were no tourists. This is actually a tourist place. And when I stayed there, they said, you can stay as long as you want. We give you food, no need to pay. And suddenly there came a group of Hong Kong people with a guide. And that guide lady said, how you came here? I said, with my bicycle. This is forbidden. And said, how you came here? So she became very angry with me. And in the same night, I left at 4 o'clock because I was frightened she will phone the policeman. And then again, they put me on the train. This is very, very, very interesting because I arrived in a place and again somebody said, wait, wait. Oh, I thought again they called the policeman. But they call that's the old man, and he's actually from Shanghai, but during the Cultural Revolution, the people from the city, they moved to the remote places, like even teachers, professors, they have to be farming. I also visit many communities where educated people have to be farming, so that I also visit. But Fang said, great, welcome here. You're the second important person. And I thought, who is the first one? And that person came also on the bicycle. And I said, who was that person? He said, that is Wu Kelly. And Wu Kelly is a man from 80 years who cycled 1,500 kilometers in China. And he visited also our place. And that small magazine, very small, I have stolen from in a hotel 3,000 kilometers from this place. And I said, this is Wu Kelly. Yes, this is Wu Kelly. And here they give me dinner, and this is already the breakfast the next morning. But the evening before, they give me many dinners. There was a television. They really spoiled me in one evening. And this was during the breakfast to say goodbye to the mayor, the sport club, and Fang. And then they offered me 100 pieces of 1 yuan. And for that money, a Chinese in that time has to work 1 or 2 months. And they just give me. So, this is already in Beijing. And then we finish the bicycle tour. In Beijing, just before Beijing, Jining, that place, I remember, I had a permit for that. But I remember the permit was for Monday and I arrived on Tuesday. So they said, no, you're on the wrong day here. So they put me again in the train, and my bicycle, the frame was broken when I arrived in Beijing. So I go to the Dutch embassy and ask, have you any idea what the Chinese do with a Dutch lady and a broken bicycle? They will do nothing. So I thought, okay, I will pick up my bicycle and I take my broken bicycle home to the Netherlands. But then they said, we had a meeting. What you like, money, a new bicycle? All your questions, we fulfill your demands. I said, I like to have a new bicycle. So we come out of the factory, bicycle factory. Left is the director, right side is the designer, a policeman from the railway station and one officer from the railway station. And then I go home with the train. And I remember also that time Berlin, because there was still the wall. So 10,000 kilometers, 7 days, day and night, I sit in the train. And that was not easy for somebody who was cycling in freedom, but actually it was good. So I arrived with my bicycle, Chinese bicycle, in Amsterdam, and I cycled home. Yeah. Now we have a second part. This is about Nepal. And you remember that I carry my bicycle in the river. So I crossed that river with my bicycle, and then there I met Kumari. This is just about monasteries. Something is very interesting, which is connected with this day. The color red, in the Buddhism, they have yellow, white, green, blue, and all the colors has a meaning. The color red has the meaning of conscious in Tibetan. So conscious, and the color blue has also meaning, and yellow also. This is in one of the monasteries, where we also work, and why I show you this picture. I think no need to explain you about Buddhism, we have no time for that also. But this is the place where the mother of Buddha did meditation before she married. Because she was beautiful, and she thought, I have to go to the forest and to do meditation before I marry somebody. And this is exactly the place. And about 20 years ago, some of the nuns, they remember that 20 years ago, they want to make a big road through this place. And 2 times, how you call this, bulldozer was exploded. And even the person who sit on the bulldozer, he died. Because this was the birthplace, this was the meditation place of the mother of Buddha. And they thought maybe this is something wrong with the bulldozer, so they bring a next bulldozer, and also that bulldozer and the stones and the rocks fell down, and also that bulldozer was completely destroyed. I don't know. I was not there, but in this place, this is close to our projects also. Just to give you an idea, actually this is a nice meditation house, but in Nepal, the Buddhists, I don't know how they do, they can meditate 3 years, 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days, 3 minutes, 3 seconds, and then they come out. It is not meaning that they cannot go to toilets. In the evening when it's dark they eat, but they don't talk for 3 years, 3 months, 3 days, 3 minutes. And I have met several people who have done this. And they all told me that you are very deep connected with your soul. So again, the soul comes always on my way, from different sides. And this is Kumari. I met her in 1986. She lost, what I told, 7 family members. Her father and mother were deaf and dumb, and they have to go to the forest to cut the wood. And for 1 bundle of 30 kilos, they get, in 1984, they get 8 euro cents. And so together 16 euro cents. And that was also in Nepal difficult to survival. She lost her mother when she was 3 months old. She lost her father when she was 5 months old. She lost 3 brothers and totally 7 family members. And this is near to the house of her uncle. And this is her auntie, and she gave her breast milk, so that is how she survived. But all those people have to work for the landowners, and the landowners mostly don't give money, just a little bit food, and they keep you in a poor condition, because then you are dependent from them. This is all what her family has in their house. So this is what 6 family members has in their house. I just read in a newspaper in the Netherlands that average in America, people have 10,000 pieces in their houses. And this is how I go to the hairdresser in the forest. This was my house. This is 1 year later. So this house I rented. Kumari was not living anymore with her family. They couldn't take care. So somebody else took care, and I cannot tell all the story, but she was in a very mentally in the most worst condition. She could not talk. I have still tapes. Even we don't exactly, she's 4 or 5 years old, but you can see in her face that she has a lot of pain, mental pain. This was my bathroom. This is in my house. Kumari is helping with cooking me. And this, actually, is a very important picture. Why? She said, I only received love from the chicken, the goats, and the dogs in my country. So it's not meaning that the Nepali are not nice, but they are living in such a poor condition that they just survival. And you can see in her face that she's really frightened from the life like that. And she could not talk, just a little bit. She was totally blocked. And here, this is already 1 year after I stay in Nepal, because I cannot show you all the pictures. And suddenly she started to talk, but not Nepali, Dutch. She became very angry when I talk Nepali. I can talk Nepali. But she picked it up very quickly, and she starts singing, dancing, and to love the life. That is big change in a short time. And this is just, we make it trekking. This is in I forget a little bit, 1990. Okay, yeah, okay. And this is Kumari when now she's 31, she's 27. And this is, yes, she's 30. And then again, something happened in her life that I tell later. But she's funny. She's really funny. How can I say? She's very artistic, and she said, how nice people make like this. Let us have a picture with that. So she's very, she loves very funny things. And she loves Amsterdam, she loves the nature, and she loves freedom, and that she received. Just about the mountains, the Himalayas in Nepal, and about the people. And just to show you how the people survive who are poor, they're making a leaf plate. From the leaves, they make plate, and they will go to the factory, so they press the plate with a machine, but she has to, in the morning at 5 o'clock, she has to collect the leaves, and then she's making about 100, she has to make 100 dishes a day, like this, but for the 100 dishes, they receive about 50 euro cents. And they have to live with, from 50 euro cents, 7 family members. And so her daughter came home, and together they make 200 leaf plate a day, every day, and they earn 1 euro. So she's also like this. And I can tell many about this. It's not only look how poor is one side poor, from the other side they are more rich. Because they don't carry this heavy load like we. We have to be connected all the time, yes. We have to look to our insurance. So you cannot compare. We have other problems. They have other problems. But it's how interesting how they make a seed from local. Women can carry 30 to 70 kilo on their back. Men can carry 100 kilo on their back. Not 1 hour, even for 5 days, but they have to sleep in the forest in the night, but they can walk for 5 days with this heavy load. Oh yeah, it's there. And the lotus flower is very important, and I use this lotus flower also in my book, because even when you had some sad experience, a lotus flower is so beautiful and can grow even in muddy water. So what is meaning? You always can raise up even when you have some muddy on your backside in the past. So I started a foundation. It's called Tamsarya Foundation. I didn't want to start a foundation, but it came like that. I didn't make real decision. And because I was on television and my book was a bestseller, then suddenly I received a lot of money. And so this is what a part of the projects we could realize. And this is the first project. It is funny. This is the first project, and it's called Kumari School, not because my daughter is Kumari, because there's a living goddess, Kumari. She has 32 marks. She has black eyes, black hair. She's beautiful. She has a nice skin. She's walking the right way. And then you have the 32 marks from the living goddess. And we say the children who come here, orphan children, destitute children, who come here, they have only 2 marks from the living goddess, black eye, black hair, and 30 marks of poorness. But when they leave the project, they have 32 marks. And we succeeded. This is how you make the benches for the school. This is one group. I think we already more than 300 children. I didn't count all, but many left, and the most are very successful. This is the staff of the school. And this is how they arrive, and 3 months later, the same girl looks like this. And why I show, not that much, but to show you when your soul is in prison by poorness, or you don't get love or safety, then the eyes are the mirror of the soul, and you can see this by all those children. Look, 3 months later, same child. How is possible? And somebody asked me, do they act for you? Then I get very angry, because the most pictures I didn't take, our manager, we just do it always, and always with the same result. This child is this child. How is possible? And even they don't recognize themselves. We give them the pictures and they said, are you this? Yes. Maybe. So this child, and 3 months later this. But this is all needed by the Dutch people. There are a lot of Dutch people who make these clothes for them. But you look special to the eyes, that's the most important. This is the proof what can change in the life when you, in the first, here the light is out, yeah? And the light is meaning the soul cannot survive, even when you get food. This child and the next is the same child. This child, 3 months later, this child. Okay, and how they living, those children, in what for situations? So in this house, yes, sometimes, oh yeah, okay. This house, they're living 12 people, and the mother and the father, they died. So the grandmother has to take care. This is a house, the mother gets 9 children, and her husband died, and somebody took 5 children, and maybe they are sold. She don't know where they are. They have to work and clean the houses, maybe in India, maybe in Kathmandu, we don't know. And she said, what can I do? She has no money to take the bus, she cannot read, she cannot find out. And that child is now in the Kumari school. This is also one family, 5 children, and her husband died 1.5 years ago by accident, and she nearly can survive, nearly. So that child is now for 2 weeks in the Kumari school. And there's another, before half a year ago, they live in this house, and he made this house by himself. He's sick, and his wife is cleaning in a hotel for about 7 days a week, and she received the amount of 30 euro for 10 hours working. So 10 times 70 hours a week working. So I didn't divide how much it is 1 hour. This is in the Kumari school. We also have a garden with we have cows for our own milk. This is how they wash on Saturday. And this is how they get food. And it's amazing, Flora was also there, so she knows. But the children are very nice to each other. They are not fighting, they are not in competition. And when the new children come, the big children are like so lovely for the small children. And you don't see that in Netherlands. It's nobody will say, I can do this better, or I am better, or they are very nice to each other. And no fighting. And this is interesting. This child I found when she was a baby from 4 months old during my stay in Nepal. She was near dying. And I bring her to a place where a nurse gave her, she had also a baby, so she gave her own baby here milk. And this girl was a baby here milk, and now she's nearly staff nurse. That other boy, he's now, after 2 months, he's a doctor. And oh, you see me here in that 1988 with the mother and that baby Rita. And that's the same baby, that is she. So this is the boy, and he was a land slave. They're living in a cow house from a landowner, father and a mother, and they gave birth to this boy. When he was 6 years old, the father died, and then he has to do the land work instead of his father. But we established just this school, and then he was very intelligent, and some donors sponsored him. So after 2 months, he's the first doctor in whole Nepal who was before a land slave. And so this is just 2 examples. This is in the place where we work. So here you see the Himalaya, and this kind of village, we establish a lot of projects. And that man on the left side, he told me that he carried his whole life, not now anymore, 100 kilo of mandarin, and for 5 days walking to the border of India, there he changed the mandarin for salt. And he said, this is nothing. My grandparents, they walked the whole way, 3 months to Tibet to get salt. And it's very interesting to meet those people. And you see the shawl is from those people. So they give me always, but now they finished, nobody can make it anymore. But the shawl was actually for men and the woman to carry the baby. So I thought it's good to wear this today. About houses, schools, but these schools, we all make new schools. This school, but it was a free day on Saturday, and we built this school. And all the schools we could build for 15,000 euro. This was a school, this was a classroom. All the fathers and mothers helped to construct the school. You see how they do, and this is the result. One other school. And this is how you start to construct a school. You make a hole, you put in 5 stones, incense, some powder, some rice, sometimes also coins. And this is to ask the God that they protect the school and give the children nice education. I also had been in places like this where people get completely in trance, and later I could ask what happened, and they said on the moment that the school was established and open, our soul was connected with heaven. So what is that always in different ways the subject's soul comes back in my life. And the people can very good. This is also one school. This is a hospital. And we have a school for midwives. We are the only school in Nepal who have a school for poor girls. And 2 times, this was the best school from Nepal. And the most of the girls, the parents could not pay, and they are very, very, very successful. This just, we already, even kijken, 8 times 40 students is, now nearly 500 students we could give education. And you see how they do in the hospital. And they all have a story. They have seen that many women died and during the birth, and some they were ready to go to the Arabic country to work there as a labor, and luckily they could study here. And with the income, when they finish this school, they get a job and they earn about 80 to 100 euro a month in Nepali rupees. And with that money, they help so many people. But even with that money, they can help the whole family to lift up their life with 100 euro. This is. I always have a big interest in how they. This is a hammer. Also some equipment. This is how they bring. Before we built the schools, they go to the mountains to cut the rocks from the mountains to carry. in a bucket to this place. So it is not easy to build a school. Here it's not possible to bring a truck. This is what they have in the house. This is about the earthquake. You have heard that 2 times last year. And so this is the village. And it's a big problem because the government received €4 million and they didn't do nothing. It is still on the bank. And we also collect money to help those people close to our projects, but we are not allowed. And just a few days ago, I heard the government said, give us the money and we decide, but we will not do that. And when we start to renovate, maybe the government will come and destroy it. Sorry for the people, but we will not give it up. So like this family, they are with 10, and this was a house from the grandfather built that house. And he told the story. He said, suddenly I was working in the land and my family was in the forest for cutting wood. And then I came home and this was left from my grandfather's house. But this house, just here all the houses is destroyed and this house survived. So how is possible? And this is the victim's house, so they make from what they have. This is the nearly last picture. Namaste is meaning in Nepal, I greet the God in you. But you should not translate God like our meaning. It's like I feel a big respect. I respect all the goodness in the other. And it's a very nice sign. And again, why I like this, the color of red, conscious, and the lotus flower on the back side. So I feel this is a nice picture to finish about my work in Nepal. And now we go on. So just you can read this. And I think it's totally true in my opinion. Yeah, this is, oh, I also find out this. This I find out the last 8 years, and that I tell you later. During my life, I don't know, I always have good connection of good relation with animals, with children and old people. And I ask myself why, but now I know. So like this man, he was living near the monastery in a small house, now he died. And I saw him sitting, and in Nepal you can say, you not just go and ask, yes? You ask, can I meet you? And he said, welcome, sit down. And I said, can I ask you something? This very polite way of communication. And I said, please, you can ask me everything. And I said, do you know the meaning of the life? And he said, yes, I know. But it took me 85 years. And then he said, the meaning of the life is to, he said, first I like to tell, first he said, my soul will talk now. My soul. Again, the soul came on my dish. And then he said, my soul will talk. And he said, I was married, my wife died, I get children, I get grandchildren, I work, I was military, I did a lot. And now I'm 85, and now I know the meaning of the life. I thought, what he will say? And he said, just very simple, to be good to others, to be good to animals, and to be good for the nature. That is all. Finished. And I was so impressed, and even, that's why I took, when he closed his eyes, you can also see he's talking from his soul. You can see with his eyes closed, his soul is in his face. And this woman I met in Tibet, but everybody, when I was cycling, I was a lot of snow, and she invited me, and I'm used to do something back. Somebody do something for me, then I thought, okay, I have to clean, I have to wash dishes, I have to give something. And I learned a lot from this woman, and I thought, what to do? She offered me food, she offered me food, she offered me drink. She was so nice for me, and I feel very uncomfortable because it was maybe the first time in my life that I received so much love and food, and I'm a stranger, and sit down, and at that night we slept with the animals, the goats, and the whole family at the fire. And the next day I feel like I took a vitamin you cannot buy in a shop. So, and then I feel again how nice when people are just open. Also this man, I had a very nice talk with him, but I have many pictures from those people, and I'm now more impressed than I took the picture. And I said also to him, can I ask you the meaning of the life? Yes, sure. And he said, I like to work, but not work for work. I like the work. And okay, I have to fill my stomach, but I like to work in the field. I like to work and the animals around me. So it is so different from such people. Oh, sorry, I have no time. Yes, I'm very stressed. Maybe next week we can see each other. And we have washing machine, we have a car, we have trains, we have buses. And always, many times, people are very stressed, busy. And all those people who have no washing machine, no car, no nice house, they have enough time to be with each other. And this lady, she slept for several years on the road, but it's a long story. And I met Shoba, and Shoba, she gave birth to a girl, and her husband became angry because it was not a boy. And the husband left, and then her whole life changed. The policeman found a baby in the river, and she thought, let me have a look. And then the policeman, who will take this baby immediately to the hospital? She thought, I will do. So, but she became a mother because she don't know what to do. The baby was fine after some days. And the doctor said, oh, please, you can take your boy to your home. It was a boy. And her own daughter adopted that child, but then she took 100 old people in her house, which she found on the street. And this woman also is one of them, and she said, I said, I make a video film, but still I could not publish. But I talk with all the women, and she said, I'm so lucky that somebody found me and really loved me. That is enough. So how interesting. Then many people ask me, I'm now nearly 65, so people, I get so tired from this question, so don't ask me after this, when you go with pension. So I always said, I go to the palm reader. My father became 104 years old. So I always say, okay, the palm reader told me that he told me that I will be very old. So I go with pension when I'm in heaven. And so I can go on 40 years more. So you can invite me again here. Oh, that is finished. I thought I could not finish in 1.5 hours, but we have 1 hour more, and I will continue, but not with the pictures. I don't know how to close. We have to close that one. Oh, does somebody know how to do? Yeah. What? Yeah. Oh, my. Maybe we make a few minutes break because I talk so much. Now it is your turn. So maybe you like to react and then I go to the last part. So maybe somebody worry that I couldn't do in time. So I hope, actually I should not do in a hurry this, but maybe there are some questions from your side. And then I go to the last part about this slides and pictures. Is there somebody who wants to ask me something?
I was very impressed about your story because I was very impressed about your story, what you show up. And I have a collection as well from Asia. I was traveling 4 years and I had the same experience.
Okay, yeah, then you can understand.
Yeah, very well.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What can you understand?
Well, I can understand the feeling, the talk between the people. And as I realized in my travel, I was going to Indonesia because it was a long dream in a child. As I was a child, I was always interested in ecological other countries. They might be very interesting. And it was Asia. I don't know why. I just moved there.
Mm-hmm.
And I walk, I don't know, just drill, take a bus, with the train, walking. Also use a bike and talk to the people. And always I got invited.
Yeah.
And the special thing is if you are not going as a traditional tourist traveling, you're more interested for the people and the country. So
you
your
traveled alone.
eyes are open more.
You traveled alone also?
Yes.
Yeah, that's very important. What I feel when I was traveling alone, that I think you recognize, that when I go with some Dutch people, yeah, then I miss the Dutch cheese, yes? How is your father? How is your mother? Do you
exactly.
miss the potatoes or cheese? So you have to come, you cannot do that. So you're also totally free to do what is good on the moment, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you recognize that, yeah.
Yeah, and also, I was not really good at this time in English and also with Indonesian, but I just talked like a child, and I had a mixture of Indonesian language, and everybody was smiling. But I used my drawings, when I don't know the words, but I could understand very well. And also the other thing was, if I've been in big cities, and all the other travel people's coming to me, and it was like a chewing gum. They always connected to me, and what you are doing next? And can you show me this?
Yeah.
It was really a hassle, I didn't like that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So, some more questions about then? Okay, then I go on with the last part. Maybe then the questions will come. Thinking which color? Yeah, no, it is nice, this different color. It should be round. I need a dish to make it round, but okay. Then I try. Okay, I'm not a good drawer. Maybe I should have asked somebody else. Anyway, in my opinion, so when I tell you this, it is not the truth, it is my view. Yes? So you can have your own view. That is first. This is our soul. When we are born, the soul is big, and this is our body, and this is our brain. Actually, it is much smaller, but I have to draw many times. So actually, it's very small when you're born. But after a few weeks, you will grow your body, your brain will grow, and actually, when you go to school, you learn from your parents, you learn from books, you watch television, etc., etc. Your brain will develop, and the same with the body. So when you're adult, all is equal. But then it can happen that your brain is very much developed and your soul is, what is krimpen eigenlijk? Shrinking? Shrinking, yes, shrinking. By influence of outside, your soul can shrink. And your body can also be strong. But we go first to this part. What I find out, that the soul is the most important. There are so many books and people would talk about the soul, and then I think, what they mean? And there are many sayings about the soul, and I have written down some of them. Everybody know, to be at the loose end, sell one's soul to the devil, etc., etc., etc. Many people use the word soul. Your soul, even when I watched television, Obama a few days ago, also he used soul. But nobody thinking, he didn't tell what he's meaning by his soul, but we understand. But actually, when I ask you what is meaning the soul, so I like to ask you, what is the meaning the soul for one of you? Please give me answer. What is the soul? What is the soul?
I have one, it's not mine actually, but something I have one answer which is not mine. It's of Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, but I really like it, and that is that soul is the extra energy we have to invest in others when we have taken care of ourselves.
Yeah. Somebody else? When you feel your soul, what you feel, when you feel your soul, you think, this is my soul. What is inside of your soul?
Well, for me, it's really the power and also the love.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's the most of the part.
There are many, many feelings, love. You can love something more? Okay.
Thank you. For me, soul is another dimension of myself. Not physically, but something that it's not physically.
Yeah. And you mean spirit, maybe? Not. No, just what you say, yeah. Somebody else?
What comes to me is something like feeling really connected and stillness, some peace, some stillness when I feel I'm connected to my soul. And I remember an Indian guru asking himself always the question. He spent many, many years in a cave in Arunachala mountain and asking, who am I? And also the soul is maybe something like what is left when everything is gone, what is still left, so some true essence.
Yeah. Please, maybe you write down in some words, better because these are your words, and you should write down by yourself. But I'm feeling. You just can write down what is coming up. Yeah. Somebody else? Please come and write down what is coming up by feeling so. Yeah, energy field. Somebody else? Okay. Somebody else? Maybe later, but try. Yeah, try. Somebody here. More? I think you can, when you take more time, it will continue when you leave this day, I'm sure. Then you think, oh, this may be also in my soul. So there are many things in the soul. And why I show you the pictures from the children in my project, you can see from the faces, from the people, if the soul is active or not. And when your soul is active, how can I say, you count, with your brain you can count. 1 and 1 is 2. 2 and 2 is 4, yes. I take the map from Berlin and I go this way, left, and I visit the market, yes. I take the map and I try to find my way to the hotel. This is all in the brain. The body is to walk to that market. The body is to listen to others. The body is to use this, keep in my hand. So my brain is saying, but this has nothing to do with the soul. And the soul is when you meet other people, and there is some, or you go to the museum. I just was this morning talking with one of you, and I said, Van Gogh, everybody, when they go to the Van Gogh museum, people are very deep impressed. People get tears in the eye. This man was very poor. He should know what he's doing with millions of people, just people see his paintings, or people listen to Bach or to music. This has nothing to do with the brain. But the brain can say, okay, tomorrow I buy the CD, yes? Or the brain can say, I go to the concert. And the body is for to see, to hear, and to do something with your soul. And I have to put this here. I just get this in the morning, this idea. So, this is your soul. And when you love somebody, you look for the same soul. Then you are a very, how can you say, zielsverwantschappen. What is that? Yes, seelenverwant. Yeah. So you're always looking for some people who are very close to you. But anyway, this is all our souls. And sometimes your soul is moving to this, no. To this one, no. Ah, this one is better for your soul. Yeah? Your whole life, you're very, very active. The whole day you're active. But you're not conscious about it. And just for example, yesterday I met Floor and we go to drink a glass of wine and two people were listening to us and they feel we have to meet them. So it is not because we are beautiful or something like that, just their soul said we want to meet them. So there was directly a connection between two strange women and we became very friendly and close to each other in one evening. This can happen on the street, this can happen everywhere, even when you travel. So, but your body has to say goodbye or thank you, or with your body you offer the glass of wine, but your soul is very much active. But they are always cooperation with each other, they communicate with each other, but you cannot say all the time, oh, I have to do this. You do it automatically. When you hear nice music, you automatically go to the place to listen. And that has happened to everybody, but sometimes people lose the soul. And this I find out about 8 years ago. I cannot tell in detail, but my daughter, she cannot study well because by lack of food in the first months of her life, she cannot count. So the count part of her brain is affected. And then in Netherlands, we say you're handicapped. Yes? Quickly. You're handicapped when you have code 1, when you have code 2, then you are in this box. You're in that box and you're in that box. And by accident, she came in a house for handicapped people, but she's not handicapped. And anyway, that happens 8 years ago. I could get her out, but she was the person who told me what happened with her. But even the people in Nepal told, and they said, they killed my soul. And this kind of houses, they earn big money from the government, yes? And who are running that? So this has to, first I go. What I find out, there are a lot of handicapped people who need immediately help from the Dutch or German government, and especially in the developed countries. And I call them upper ego, big ego, and under ego. Those people, they have this small soul. And you meet them everywhere, but not every day. This was blue, yeah. this is, yeah, that doesn't matter. Special, this is important. And they studied, yes, on the university. They are specialists. They are trainers. They are people, you can meet them on a birthday. I have 3 cars. Oh, I can drive easy 200 kilometers. I'm a professor. I know everything. So they are always hungry. Too much hungry for the ego. And I read a book about famous people of the world. And I don't know who, I give that book to other people. But this book is about famous leaders of the world. And they have for a presentation on television in Japan or Korea or America, doesn't matter. And when they go back to the hotel, they are very lonely. Upper and under egos, they are very lonely people because they have a small soul. And when they can give food to their hungry ego, they are satisfied. So they even don't ask you nothing. They're always telling them what they know. Yes, they know always better. Yes, don't interrupt them. They are the best from the world. And the whole day they are busy, and the next day they are busy with that, and the next day they are busy with that. So, but when they're in touch with people with a normal soul, they said this is how zweverig, Floor. Do you know that word? Oh, this is people. They are not studied for that. Yes, they don't know. But anyway, they don't take you serious. They take nobody serious, only themselves. And these are the most dangerous people from the world. And sometimes you meet not that big ego, but you recognize them easy. And they never, they also have a behavior to you. A nice lady, you're beautiful, but you're good to wash the dishes, yes? They can give these answers. Or maybe, and they try to criticize you to make you smaller. And they are very clever. The upper ego is very clever. It's very clever. Because they know how to manipulate you. They know how to give you pain. They know how to make you smaller. And actually, there's no communication because they have a problem with their soul. So actually, they are the most handicapped people from the world. And the underego, we should not forget them. They are a little bit similar, but they are not that clever. And upper and underego, they work together. For example, I'm an upper ego, you are the underego. That is meaning you feel less than other people. That's underego. And it's very easy when I give you as an upper ego. I'm a leader, I'm the director from an institution, yes? And I said, so nice how you do, yes? And you feel, the director give me compliments, yes? But this is nothing to do with the life, this is nothing to do with your work. This is only you are also hungry for compliments. And that upper ego know exactly how to play chess with the underego in the whole team. So a lot of money, a lot of time is spent for nothing. Only this is a game, a very dirty game from the human being. We should feel shame. Actually, we all have ego. I too. But, sorry, I use so much paper. I can use the back side also. Okay. How should you write conscious? S? Yeah, say, yeah. Oh, this, huh? Awesome. Oh, please. I know I'm writing wrong. I wrote it many times. Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah, now, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, it's very nice. But by consciousness is going in several levels. Step 1, what happened in Tibet when I felt very good? I'm just thinking, I noticed I feel very good. I noticed. Then I think, why I feel good? So I start to observe myself, observation. That is, and then, what can I do more to feel good? To give my soul a place in my life. So I observe myself. It is just like consciousness is like awake. But you cannot do it in one day. It is just like a stair. So step 1 is here. Step 2, step 3, step 4. And sometimes you fell down, you go up, you fell down, you go up, you fell down. You sit on 3, you go back to 1. And it is very hard working. It is the most hard working to observe yourself and to see the truth, also when you're not doing well. This is the whole day you're active with that. And to awake. Now I like to ask you, first of all, this is not a word what exists, and this is also not a word. But do you recognize that? Otherwise I'm talking here and I don't know. Maybe I talk and you don't recognize. Who recognized this, what I told? Okay. So it is not, then I think the observation was okay. Then back to this. And it took me 8 years to feel the result, what I wrote here, but still I'm not totally satisfied. But what can be the result when you're on step 4? What can be the result of consciousness? How you can feel that? Who can give me how you can feel when you're conscious, when you're awake? What is the result for yourself? This is really important, yeah?
According to me, I feel very energetic and very connected to others and to not just to people, but to nature and the world in general.
Then you feel a member of the universe. For example, when I reach here, I have observed myself and others, and I know how to be conscious, how it works in myself. Then I don't need always, do I good, please. I'm a nice person. I don't need all this compliment. I don't need to be jealous. Actually, don't think that I reach this, but you are totally free. And I think there are few people, like Mandela, I think. He was a totally free person. They don't need, yes? They are not a slave from what is the past, yes? They are not slave from the compliments. They do what is good. And they are standing strong like that. So then you're totally free and you're a member of the universe. Only the soul can do something for the world. With your brain, you count the money on the bank, you see how to drive the car. Brain is just equipment. The body is equipment for the soul. And I am sure, special in Nepal, the people say thank you what I've done for them, but I said thank you what you have done for me. Because they said to me, we no need to talk, sit down and sit together and we communicate. No need to give words to that, no need to talk. And I told already one of you this morning, I have experienced the Dutch and German, they like Nepal very much. Maybe because they are talkative and they become calm in Nepal. But Nepali said, oh, we let them talk, and when they finish the talk, they become calm. So the brain is working. And the brain can destruct your soul, believe me. When you always said, oh, these people are not doing good that. Yes, how they dirty. Why they should have this big, many families? Why they do not family planning? They, the whole day, the brain, they order other what to do. And they forget to enjoy with the soul. To create new ideas, to look to others. Maybe it is very nice, this Nepali who don't have a car, they don't make pollution. But they feel, oh, my ego, I have to tell those people what is good and not good. And they give themselves, without permission of Nepali, and they do with his finger, yes? The Dutch people one time said, Nepal, I cut this finger, yeah? Oh, these people should do like this, yes? And why they build these houses like this? And why they not produce, they're talking, and they forget to look with their soul how nice those people are. And I don't say that all Dutch people are like this, but it's just example. And when you don't do like this, you're free and you can receive more than you do. That is my experience. And nobody, not Nepali, not the German, not the Dutch, not the Belgian, here, nobody is complete. But by this step, you can do your best to climb the Himalaya in yourself. That is what I try to explain. And I am also sure that when you work from your soul, this morning Christine talked about you are open. And you will be surprised how much you will see and hear which you didn't see and hear before. But it took me, I'm now 65, and I thought, why I didn't find out this more earlier? I should enjoy more. But that is maybe because of the age, then you know better. Yeah, then I feel sorry that I used that paper. I don't feel good that I use so much paper. No problem? No problem? This is the last paper I use. But then, about the soul which became smaller, how it can happen. Please, try to find out. It's very easy and very difficult. How it became that the soul is big and became smaller. How it can happen. Yes?
Maybe because the brain is blowing up itself.
Yeah.
So there are more and more thoughts and the soul becomes less and less.
Yeah.
There's not enough space for
Yeah.
the soul anymore.
It's right, but I make a mistake. How can your soul be destroyed by others? Yeah. Destroyed or screamed by others. A punishment, yes. Oh, more? What?
Mobbing.
Mopping? What's it?
Mobbing, it's someone push you all the time.
Okay, pushing, yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah. Pressing or pushing, yeah. By press, maybe. Something more? Who can...
Ridicule.
What?
Ridicule. To make fun.
To make fun. Yeah, 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 yeah. To make bad fun, yeah. I write it in this way, bad fun. My English is not that good, but I... Hmm?
My opinion, or from my view, this can only, things from the outside can only diminish me if I let them happen, because if I have the security in myself that I'm okay the way I am, that I can have my boundaries, then nothing can touch me from the outside.
Yeah, but that is... Then you are on step 4, 3 or 4. But
Okay.
when you're on step 2, the people who do this to you, they will not do to you. It's going very sensitive.
So we have to imagine we are on step 2 and then
When,
answer
yeah,
this.
when you can compound or defend your own soul, people know they will not do with you. They will not succeed. They will look for the people who they can do. People who cannot protect themselves. Because their soul has some weakness, not weakness, this is very difficult because I'm still writing that book. I told Floor also. It is very, very sensitive subject. But I reach nearly, at the end of the year, I can finish my book. So still, I'm also searching and to go to the details. But actually, when I walk on the street and somebody wants do something bad, that people just have a nose for that, yes? Who can I touch? The soul. So you're right. When you're strong, your soul is strong, nobody can enter. But even you can come in situations, it can happen. But not when you're in the condition like now, but maybe you can come another condition, it can happen.
Sickness maybe?
Yeah. Sickness or, yeah.
If you lose someone, like
Yeah.
the children who lost
Yeah.
parents.
Yeah, yeah. When you lose, yeah, yeah. How we can write down that, yeah. Sickness. Or you can write many things, yes? And this happened the whole day. This is, and the hungry egos, they are just searching for those people. So we are with such stupid things busy, yes?
But there's also something happens today when the people ignore you. You know, they just going away.
Yeah.
They don't see you,
Yeah,
can
yeah,
feel
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah, very good. And some people do it because they are not conscious, but some people do it very active because they they want shop, yes, for themselves, and they need you, sometimes for the money also. Like my daughter, she was in a handicapped institution, and they keep it secret. They make her very handicapped on the paper. They earn like 80,000 euro a year. Actually, I don't want to tell this, but it comes more close to you. And they said, oh, you should not go to your mother. Yes, you're independent now, and we miss you, and blah, 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 blah. So they brainwashed her. That is what I will tell. It's like brainwashing. And brainwashing happens also between husband and man, yes? The husband said, I love you, or opposite also, otherwise I give always the man. They are the guilty. But the husband said, I love you, yes? But the wife is not allowed to go out. The wife is not allowed to do any job, yes? But he bring flowers for her, so she get confused. And that is actually a very active way to brainwash people and to make this soul smaller and smaller. My daughter, she could explain very well what happened with her. She said, I compound. She has actually a big soul, a very big soul. She's so nice to people. But when she stayed in this institution, they said, oh, you cannot do this. We do all for you. Yes, so they ignore her capacity. Yes, they make her smaller and smaller, and it goes very slowly. And then they said, we love you. Yes. So they mix it, and she said, she come home and said, I don't know what is in my brain. And she said, write down all. So I wrote down. She said, my soul is, I don't know where's my soul. She just do with hand like this also. She said, I don't know where's my soul. I lost my soul. But they have stolen my soul. And then she said, then at last she started crying and she said, I compound, what is it, cocoon, Floor? Cocoon? Yes, I kept my last small soul in a cocoon. And then she said, when I lose this, then I'm dead. So I believe, by the experience of Nepali also, they believe in the soul, and they said the soul always, when you die, your soul is a part of the universe. So what I want to say at the last, our soul, we are all members of the universe. And it's very nice to see the life as also as a game, yes, that your soul can go to this person, and then the soul go there. Oh, no, maybe I travel here to Nepal, yeah? Or I travel to Amsterdam, or I go maybe to where? So we are always looking where we can find soulmates. And it's not that I think this tomorrow morning, oh, where I can find my soulmate, it just happened. But your soul is moving, and I believe, maybe there's a reincarnation, I don't know, but I believe that when you die, the soul will exist. Because that is why I like to think that, because then your life is bigger. How can I say? Then you feel more you are a member of the universe. And I think we know just a little bit from the life. We think we know a lot, but we know a little bit. And the science, they ignore the soul because they don't know how to handle that. And why they always talking, there's a soul or not a soul? Leave it. Let us say the soul exists, and let us feel we have a soul. Because we cannot ignore that. And when you love somebody immediately, you cannot say that your brain is working, yes, or your body. It is just your heart, your feelings for other is working. And that cannot come from the brain, that comes not directly from the body, it comes from the soul. But who I am, this is just my view, and I can say that I have no doubt for myself, because I met so many people, I have so many experience very deeply, that I cannot ignore the soul anymore in my life. And I feel also when my soul is working well, and what she said, I can protect my soul. I don't feel fear. I feel happy and safe with myself. And I don't need all the compliments. I'm just who I am. And no need that everybody love me. No need to get all compliments for everybody. You get tired from that, yes? And not, what the Nepali also said, no need to express always, this is nice, this is wrong. It is what it is. You should not count, and this is wrong, this is right, this is bad, this is good, it's beautiful. Just I go out and I see these flowers and I feel they are beautiful. No need to say, I see that. And the soul is also very lonely. Because when you all go to a nice park, you go together, you drink a tea or a coffee or a beer, but your experience is different from everybody, from all other people. So the soul is very individualistic, very own, but also universal. And that's very, very interesting, I feel. But when you love somebody, you just love somebody, and you cannot explain to others. You can tell, I love her because she has nice hair and blah, blah, blah. But the deep feelings, you have only these feelings and nobody else. So I believe that it is so interesting that a million of people, they all have different face, they have different fingerprint, they have a different soul. But that we can feel happiness, sadness, love, that we create, it is because nobody can make a copy from Vincent van Gogh. Nobody can make a copy from Bach. Okay, people can play the same music, but it's always different. Because that soul from Bach is different than the person who make a copy. So it is actually, it is beautiful how we are. That is what I want to say. So I can tell more, but I think it was enough for today. And maybe you like to react or to ask something.
You think there's a difference between consciousness and soul? Oh, what's...
Yeah. Consciousness is just, you realize, how can I say, consciousness is the observer from your soul, your body and your brain, is my view, is observer. Then when you know how it works, you are conscious. But conscious is actually, the soul is something very special. Everybody can observe. So that is, conscious is not something individualistic. Everybody can do this. Everybody can look to himself, everybody can look to other. So that is my opinion, conscious. But the soul is very specific, very much from yourself. When you painting, we all painting from our soul. There's no any painting or music the same. When you have an idea, no idea, it is sometimes similar, but nothing exactly copy. And conscious is just, let me say, this room is my soul. I just look to my own room. And then I look to one small room in my room. What is going on with me here? Yes? Or why I react like that? Is it just an observer, but it's only my opinion, so don't think I'm telling you the truth, because I'm not a science, it's just my own experience. So when I sit in Tibet and I met nobody, I sit there and I just, how I feel, how nice, what is going on with me? So I look to myself, how I feel in the mountain. And when I'm in my home and I feel sad, for example, what happened with my daughter? Luckily, I could get out, and she's recovering. And I was an observer. What happened? Why I didn't see this, that people are doing like that? So I start to observe myself, my daughter, and the others. And from there, I get this feeling about upper and under ego. And when I tell people who had a partner was the upper of under ego, they said, oh, I totally recognize it, totally in detail. And that upper and under ego is for me very easy to handle. And ego is just a too big word, but under and upper ego gives more detail. Yes? My answers are very long because I'm still writing in my...
I think there's a psychological term for upper and under ego. There's narcissism is the upper ego, and codependency is the under ego, I guess. I don't know if that's
I also
the right...
thought it, but I don't agree. But because narcissism is a part, is a behavior of an upper ego.
Mm-hmm.
When I go more deeply, narcissism is a part of the upper ego, but the upper ego has this list. And one is narcissism. Next is don't take other people serious. So, but in some books they write, but I write it like a part of the upper ego. So the upper ego is a longer list than only narcissism. It's not enough narcissism. I can understand, but I don't agree that it's similar. More?
There was also one thought that came to my mind, because that's what I'm struggling with right now, is that it's really important to protect yourself from that. That's really important, but also still to have compassion and relate. That was something that right now that I'm dealing with right now, because this is for my peace of mind. That was a really important step to do, is to feel the same, that we're all human and this is also part of humanity, and this is something that I can relate to.
Yeah, I understand half. You mean which part is also from the humanity? This, what I tell now.
Also, somebody that has an upper or under ego. That is.
Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. But actually, those people are in a very sad condition. They are in a prison of their own upper and under ego. They are in prison. They are not free. And it is actually, they have I think, what I heard from others, that most upper ego, they have a problem in their own childhood, because by lack of love, yes, and by pressing of the parents, you have to study well, you have to be a great man, yes, and when you don't study well, I will beat you. I know a lot of examples, so they have actually a problem with their soul. You understand? It's the same. They need also help. But how can I think I'm not the person to help them. I'm just a person who noticed by my own experience. And sure, in the soul there are a lot of other subjects, like compassion is a part of the soul, creator is a part of the soul, love is a part of the soul. Many, you can make a long list, and, but actually this presentation for me, because I'm still writing the book, and it is not easy subject, also not for me. But what I told today, I have no doubt about that. But I'm not the person who can help those people. But I think it's very important what you told, to protect yourself. And when you know how it works, why people did, then you're less irritated, and even you can have compassion with those people. Yeah. You get, in my opinion, you get irritated when you don't understand from where it comes, how it happens. Yes? More? I hope you are satisfied, because the weather is so nice. Okay? Thank you for your big interest. Yeah.